welcome to the deep dive. You know, if you look around today, the wellness space it's honestly completely flooded with quick fixes.
Absolutely flooded, yeah.
Right. You've got the 10-step morning routines, the incredibly expensive supplements, the cold plunges.
The biohacking.
Exactly. The biohacking. Everyone is promising that you could just, hack your way to some state of perfect balance and enlightenment.
Yeah, just buy one more thing and you'll be fixed.
Right. But what if real profound self-healing isn't actually about adding more things to an already exhausting routine? What if it's actually about taking things away?
Peeling back the layers.
Yes, peeling back layers and really understanding the very structure of your own consciousness from the outside in. And that is exactly what we're exploring today. And it is a completely different paradigm.
It really is. It shifts the whole conversation.
It does. We've got a stack of excerpts here from a truly fascinating framework. It's called the Healer Path, Integrated Framework for Conscious Ascent.
It's a dense text, but so rewarding. So rewarding. And our mission for this deep dive is to map out a comprehensive, actionable roadmap for your spiritual growth and self-healing, purely based on these writings.
Because it's not just theory.
No, not at all. It's an incredible set of sources because it bridges this ancient Eastern wisdom with a highly systematic, almost structural anatomy of how human consciousness actually operates.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this. To really grasp this gratitude healing system, we first have to look at its foundational philosophical roots, which come from traditional Chinese medicine.
That is the perfect place to start, actually, because the entire framework is grounded in a concept called Yangsheng.
Yangsheng?
Right, and if we translate Yangsheng literally, it just means nurturing life. It's a philosophy that has been around for thousands of years, and it encompasses a whole range of self-cultivation practices.
Like the day-to-day stuff.
Exactly. We're talking about conscious meditation, specific breathing exercises, maintaining a mindful diet, all of it designed to promote health, longevity, and ultimately a much higher state of transformation.
But to really understand how Yangsheng operates within this specific framework, you have to look at what it is actually trying to nurture. According to this ancient philosophy, human life is sustained by three essential principles.
And the text refers to these as the three treasures.
Yes, the three treasures.
I love that framing. Calling them treasures instantly signals to you that these are vital resources. They aren't infinite. They need to be protected and valued.
Precisely. You have to guard them. And those three treasures are Jing, which is your fundamental essence or your physical constitution.
Basically your physical battery.
Yeah, a great way to put it. Then there's Qi, which is your vital breath or the energetic current running through you. And finally, Shen, which is your spirit or highest consciousness.
Qi and Shen.
Right. And the absolute core objective of any Yangsheng practice is to achieve harmony by making sure that your Qi, that vital energy, flows healthily throughout your entire body and into all of your organs.
Okay, so keep the energy flowing.
Yes. And what this specific framework does is take that ancient model and map it directly onto the structural covers of human consciousness. It defines a highly systematic approach to healing that moves from the dense physical reality we interact with every day all the way up to the highest spiritual realization.
And it breaks this journey of ascent down into three active layers.
It does.
So the first one, the absolute foundation of the whole system, is called the bio layer. And this corresponds directly to our physical body. Now, the material also refers to this as Puri's final cover, which
sounds a little cryptic at first.
Yeah, it sounds like sci-fi or something.
Yeah.
But Puri historically refers to the concept of a city or a fortress. So if you think of your physical body as the outermost wall of a walled city, it's the final, densest cover that protects the inner kingdom of your consciousness.
I really like that analogy.
Thanks. The bio layer is all about the management of that first treasure you mentioned, Jing, or essence. We aren't talking about abstract thoughts or high-level spiritual concepts here yet. We are talking about your actual tangible physical form.
And because it is the densest form of manifestation, this is where we see the physical symptoms of imbalance most clearly. Within this framework, disease isn't viewed just as a random mechanical failure of the body.
Like a car breaking down.
Right, it's not a broken part. Disease is understood to begin at its root with a disruption in the flow of Qi. If that vital electrical current isn't moving correctly, the physical structure of the bio layer, those walls of the fortress, starts to crumble.
Which means taking care of the bio layer requires incredibly practical, grounded lifestyle choices. It's not about retreating to a mountaintop to meditate for 10 years.
No, not at all.
It's about what you do on a random Tuesday. The forces point to simple, rigorous techniques that accumulate substantial benefits over time. Conscious breathing practices like Qigong.
Mindful eating.
Mindful eating, making sure you actually have good sleep hygiene and engaging in gentle, consistent exercise. It's just the daily maintenance of your physical vessel.
But it goes beyond just, eating your vegetables and getting 8 hours of sleep. The analysis really highlights the profound mind-gut connection.
Oh, yeah.
It operates on the premise that stress is fundamentally detrimental to digestion. The sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight response, literally diverts resources away from your digestive tract.
Right, which makes intuitive sense. If you are running from a tiger, your body doesn't care about digesting your lunch.
Exactly.
But we constantly trigger that exact same biological response just by looking at our work emails.
We do.
I think what stands out to me, though, is how this framework differentiates its approach. It isn't just saying, hey, take a probiotic and do some yoga to fix your stomach.
No, it's much more structural than that. It argues that cultivating gratitude and calmness isn't just a nice psychological exercise for your mental health. It is a strict physical imperative.
A requirement.
Yes. When you cultivate calmness, you trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. That state is an absolute requirement for the efficient maintenance of the biolayer.
Because without it,
if you are constantly stressed, your qi flow is disrupted, your digestion halts, and your jing, your physical essence, is actively depleted. What's fascinating here is how this ties into stage 1 of the de-identification process, which is termed biolayer mastery.
let's really dig into that, because there is a very strict rule outlined here in the text.
Yeah.
And it's that you cannot skip steps.
You cannot skip them.
You simply cannot effectively engage the highest spiritual layers if your foundational biolayer is in disarray. If your physical health is falling apart because you're sleep deprived, malnourished, and chronically stressed, your physical body will literally lock the functions of your lower consciousness.
It demands your attention.
Right. You will be entirely consumed by physical discomfort and basic survival needs. You can't ponder the mysteries of the universe if you have a blinding migraine or severe chronic pain.
It is the ultimate prerequisite. You have to stabilize the Jing through harmonizing your diet and establishing those rigorous breathing and movement practices first.
Build the foundation.
Exactly. But the goal of stage 1 isn't just to be healthy for the sake of having good blood work. The conscious intent behind biolayer mastery is to overcome a very powerful, deep-seated psychological identification.
The idea that we are our bodies.
Yes. We all walk around operating under the default assumption that we are the physical body. We identify completely with this outermost shell.
So stage 1 is essentially about breaking that illusion.
Exactly. It's about establishing the body not as your primary identity, but as a harmonious, well-tuned vessel. Once you stop identifying solely as the body and instead treat it as a respected tool that houses your consciousness, you're finally ready to move upward. You've secured the foundation.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Because once you've stabilized that physical vessel, you enter the expansive middle ground of this framework. This is called the psychoenergetic layer.
And this layer is incredibly dynamic. It is the bridge between the dense physical world and the pure spiritual realm. And it's actually broken down into 2 interconnected bodies.
Let's break those down.
First, you have the astral body. This part of your consciousness manages your sensory input, your energetic flow, and the movement of qi.
Okay.
Then, layered just beneath that, you have the causal body. The causal body manages your mind, your deeply ingrained thought patterns, and it acts as the vital interface between your qi and your shen, or spirit.
Astral and causal.
Right. And this middle layer is so crucial because this is the exact arena where the forces of karma and choice are managed.
And the concept of choice here is massive. We aren't just biological machines acting on pure instinct. Humanity is uniquely endowed with self-reflexive consciousness.
We can observe ourselves.
Exactly. We have the capacity to step back, observe our own thoughts, take stock of our actions, and make a conscious choice to pivot. We actually have the power to change our karma, to break the chain of cause and effect.
It's a huge responsibility, really.
It is. And that capacity to choose is exercised primarily right here in the psychoenergetic layer.
But exercising that choice is difficult when the mind is in chaos. And this is where gratitude plays a deeply transformative role.
Oh, the gratitude piece is so good here.
In this middle layer, gratitude functions as a highly effective tool to process what the framework calls the frantic mind.
The frantic mind. We all know that feeling.
Right. When your causal body is spinning with anxieties, past regrets, unresolved issues, gratitude helps to short-circuit that static. It creates a coherent mental state that is conducive to energetic recovery.
Makes sense.
This is why so many spiritual traditions around the world begin their daily practices with some form of thanksgiving. It serves as an immediate reminder to the practitioner that existence itself is an unearned gift.
An unearned gift. Man, that phrase really stops you in your tracks.
It really does.
When you view your very existence, the fact that you get to breathe and experience and be here at all as a gift rather than something you are inherently owed, it shifts your entire energetic frequency.
Completely.
The framework suggests that by engaging this layer through sustained gratitude and mindful choice, you transform your fragmented, chaotic daily experiences into a smooth, coherent energy flow.
Which is the perfect setup for stage 2 of the ascent, which is psychoenergetic refinement.
Right.
Once your physical form is stabilized, attention turns to purifying the qi flow within that astral body. This means refining your sensory input. And here's where it gets highly conceptual. The material talks about cultivating a higher sensory knowledge that you acquire through pure imagery.
Pure imagery.
You start learning to sense and perceive reality entirely independent of your physical organs.
Let me pause you there because pure imagery is a huge concept. If you aren't using your physical eyes, what does this actually mean by seeing or sensing? Are we talking about visualization like picturing a beach in your mind, or is it a different kind of intuition altogether?
It's much deeper than just daydreaming or mental visualization. Think about it like perceiving the energetic signature or the fundamental truth of a situation without needing your optical nerve or your eardrums to confirm it.
Okay.
Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the tension, even though no one was speaking and everyone looked perfectly calm?
Yes, absolutely. You can cut the tension with a knife.
Exactly. You were perceiving the reality of this space through pure imagery, through an astral sensitivity, rather than physical data. Stage 2 is about honing that ability intentionally, so you are no longer limited to the narrow bandwidth of what your physical eyes and ears can process. You unlock the true potential of the astral self.
Okay, that makes so much sense. And once you begin to master those higher astral functions, you hit stage 3, which is causal transcendence. Now, there is a massive warning in these sources right at this stage, and it completely subverts how we usually think about intelligence.
It really throws a wrench in the modern mindset.
It does. In modern society, we worship logic. We think we can analyze our way out of any problem. But this framework explicitly states that a reliance on pure logic actually leads to the fragmentation and destruction of your essence.
It is a profound warning, and it challenges a lot of our default conditioning.
Yeah.
The causal body is the realm of the mind and thought patterns, but the mind has strict limitations. Logic works by dividing things up. It categorizes this is good, that is bad, this is true, that is false.
Right, it separates.
It acts like a knife slicing up reality to understand it. But your essence, your Shen, is unified. It is a whole. If you try to logic your way into spiritual enlightenment, you will just end up creating more mental boxes, more divisions, and more fragmentation. You can't use a knife to put a sliced apple back together.
Wow. So if I'm understanding this, you cannot think your way out of the causal body. The intellect is the very thing creating the walls of this specific cover.
Exactly. To truly transcend the mind's causal framework, you have to bypass word-based reasoning altogether. You have to utilize the power of self-reflexive choice to actively address the root causes of your karma. And you do this by engaging what the material beautifully calls the soul's non-conceptual aesthetic function.
I really want you listening to grasp that concept right now. The soul's aesthetic function. It is not about analyzing a piece of music to determine the time signature and the chord progression. It's about simply being swept away by the overwhelming non-conceptual beauty of it.
Yes.
It's an immediate, direct experience of reality without the mind jumping in to label it, judge it, or categorize it.
That is the perfect analogy. When you engage that aesthetic function, you stop analyzing the gift of existence to figure out how it works, and you simply appreciate the gift in its totality.
You just exist in it.
Right. You step out of the frantic, slicing mind and into a state of direct, unified knowing. And that non-conceptual presence is the exact mechanism required to finally penetrate the causal cover.
Which brings us to the absolute summit of this structural anatomy. When you push through that causal cover, bypassing the mind entirely, you reach the highest functional stratum, the living awareness layer. The peak. This corresponds directly to the self, which the text also refers to as the Atman. For those unfamiliar, the Atman is an ancient Sanskrit term for the true self, the unchanging eternal core of who you are, beyond the body and beyond the mind. It is pure consciousness. And in terms of the 3 treasures of Yangsheng, this layer is entirely focused on the nurturing and realization of Shin, the spirit.
This is the domain of total, unconditional presence. It's a state of awareness where the soul's aesthetic function resides completely free from the mind's repetitive, exhausting patterns.
No more frantic mind.
None. Up here, you aren't managing physical health, and you aren't managing energetic flow or balancing karma. You are simply resting in pure, unadulterated awareness.
And the way gratitude functions at this peak level completely evolves, doesn't it?
It transforms entirely.
Back in the middle layer, gratitude was a psychological tool, a way to calm the frantic mind and fix the static. But here, in the living awareness layer, gratitude transcends being just a tool. The material describes it as the primary wellspring of all religions and the hallmark of the mystic.
The hallmark of the mystic.
Yeah, it becomes a liberating internal channel that you can tune into instantly. It shifts from, I am grateful for this cup of coffee, to, I am gratitude. It provides this overwhelming feeling of inherent sufficiency. You are totally free from external circumstances having to go your way to feel okay.
It's a profound shift from doing to being. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this highest layer is also intrinsically linked to the deepest understanding of free will and morality.
How so?
Well, the framework makes a striking philosophical claim here. It asserts that morality exists precisely because of free will. Think about it. If we were just biological machines reacting to stimuli in the biolayer, there would be no morality.
Right.
A rock falling from a cliff isn't acting immorally, it's just obeying gravity. But because we have the capacity to make conscious, non-instinctual choices, we carry moral weight. Exercising that free will, choosing not to act on base instinct or frantic emotion, is the actual mechanism by which you interact with and experience the reality of your deepest self, your Shen.
So by making choices that aren't driven by physical cravings or those frantic astral emotions, you are allowing your individual unit of consciousness to actually govern the body, rather than the body governing you. The inner kingdom is finally ruling the outer walls.
Which culminates in stage 4, living awareness. This is the final stage of the ascent. The causal cover has been completely penetrated, the mind has been quieted, and your consciousness finally rests securely in the self. This is the ultimate goal of the entire framework, the integration of Shen, your spirit, into your physical reality.
And what do they call that state?
The material describes the result of this total integration as symphonic consciousness.
Symphonic consciousness. What a rich metaphor. It implies that all the disparate parts are finally playing together. The brass section is your physical body, the strings are your astral energy, but the conductor is your Shen. It's not just playing an instrument. It's being the conductor, the orchestra, and the music all at once.
It's the realization of the unchanging power of the self. In this state, total awareness is achieved completely independent of time, space, and causation. You are no longer bound by those structural covers that restricted your consciousness from the outside in. You are experiencing the world from the inside out.
Let's really bring this all together, because we have covered a massive journey today. We've mapped out a highly systematic, hierarchical path for healing and spiritual ascent. It is a process of removing covers, like peeling an onion from the outside in.
Step by step.
Step by step. You start with the outermost shell, the physical bio layer. You move inward through the astral and causal bodies of the psycho-energetic layer, bypassing the trap of pure logic. And finally, you reach the core, resting in the self at the living awareness layer. So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
It means that while the ultimate goal is mystic awareness and that beautiful symphonic consciousness, the path absolutely demands foundational stability. You cannot build a skyscraper on a swamp.
No, you can't.
The stability provided by those ancient Yangsheng principles is your bedrock. If you want to reach the highest states of spirit, of Shen, you have to start by nurturing your physical vessel, your Jing. You have to respect the physical body, harmonize your diet, and calm your nervous system long before you can transcend it. You have to honor the densest layers before you can float in the lightest ones.
It's a brilliant reminder that true spirituality isn't about escaping the physical world or ignoring your body. It's about mastering it so that it becomes a clear, harmonious vessel for your highest consciousness.
This raises an important question for you to consider today, stepping away from the material. If the ultimate goal is this inner symphonic consciousness, where your spirit governs your reality completely free of those restrictive covers, how does that change the way you interact with the rest of the world?
Oh, that's a great question.
If you achieve that state of pure, non-conceptual presence, how do you engage with people who are still desperately defending their outermost shells, who are trapped in their biolayers, overwhelmed by stress and logic? Does reaching symphonic consciousness mean you just enjoy the music alone? Or does true mastery require you to help others begin peeling back their own covers? How does your internal symphony ripple out into a noisy world?
That is a phenomenal thought to sit with. Not just cultivating the light for yourself, but figuring out how it illuminates the space for others who are still fighting their own frantic minds. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the structural anatomy of consciousness. We covered a lot of ground today, from ancient Chinese medicine and the mind-gut connection, all the way to the absolute peaks of self-realization and the Atman. Keep questioning your assumptions, keep nurturing your vessel, and as always, stay curious.